Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. I continue to find new permutations of dial, case, and bracelet in the 25th anniversary Omega Seamaster Diver 300 meter family. New for 2018, you can see the watch is larger with a reprofiled dial, bezel, case, and a new movement. Let's start with the basics, the fit and the feel, because fit is fundamental. No longer a 41, for 2018 the case becomes a 42. 13.7 millimeters thick, reasonably constrained from lug to lug, 50 millimeters on the nose, with the real difference between this watch and its predecessor being the pivoted end lengths that mean the lug to lug measurement is the true distance across the wrist. The spacing between the lugs, 20 millimeters, actually the same as the prior watch, so if you have accessory straps for the old watch, they will fit on the new one. The bracelet represents a huge qualitative step forward from the original in the 1990s, and the bracelet, as much as the watch itself, is part of the classic package with the Diver 300 meter. The newer ones are more squared off along their sides. They look more like sports watch bracelets, and their side profile just more robust and masculine than the softer, rounded profiles of the 5-link bracelets of the 90s and early 2000s. Intermediate polished links with a staggered design to break up the mass of metal, all removable links fixed by screws, and you can see the use of half links for precise sizing. There's a little bit more built in too, because now, for the first time in the Diver 300 series, we have both a fold-out dive extension and a push-button slider that allows some incremental sizing adjustments. So between the half links and the slider, you should be able to nail the fit. The clasp, as redoubtable as it was during the 90s when it was considered to be the clasp that forced Rolex to rethink its stamped oyster clasps, today refinements include a hairline bevel that runs the flank, polished pushers, satin finish on the top, and a deep engraving with the Omega marquee and logo. Internally, just as solid as ever with that push button slider and the all-or-nothing dive suit fold out. Turn it around and you can see this is where the ergonomic equation changes. With these pivoted end links, no longer solid, no longer protruding, mean that the watch can be pulled straight down around a small wrist, so it fits just as well as it would with the strap when it's on the robust and long-lived bracelet. The side profile, very familiar. You can see the flare of the polished bevel of the Omega Seamaster case. You know it from a million different Seamasters and Speedmasters over the years. Still sheer guards on the crown side with satin finished flanks. The helium escape valve, now reprofiled. It looks a little bit like a Reese's peanut butter cup, but the change, not just the profile, but the function, it can now be opened in the course of a dive if you suspect that you might need it, or should you have forgotten to open it at the beginning of the dive, so you can now operate it underwater. The bezel has a pretty good ratchet, better than its predecessor. The shallow knurling remains, but the action and the sound are more satisfying. Ceramic with a cold enamel insert, so it's blue ceramic, robustly scratch resistant, just like a sapphire, and everything that is white is a cold enamel that has been painted in and layered in for high contrast. Line it up with the reprofiled skeleton style minute. Now you have an impromptu 0 to 60 minute timer. I always prefer a dive bezel to a chronograph, simply easier to read, and I rarely time anything longer than 60 minutes. The watch with a ceramic bezel and a ceramic dial to match. The ceramic dial isn't new in the Diver 300 series, but the ceramic with the return of the Omega Seamaster wave pattern is. It is now a laser engraved wave pattern, so it's three-dimensional, it has depth, and the ceramic dial gives you a lot of the same advantages of enamel without the fragility of enamel or expense. I'll also add that this particular model has a chromium coat on the top to add that gorgeous silver metallic luster atop the ceramic base. It's singular. It nicely matches the case and complements the dial. All of the indices applique, they are blue. The hands at center are blue. What's changed with the skeleton style hands? Well, they're broader at their ends. The date is moved from 3 o'clock down to 6 o'clock, and you can see Omega matching the color of the dial with the color of the date wheel. The timepiece now with the first regular production display case back on a Diver 300. You can see caliber 8800, a new movement, 55-hour power reserve, automatic winding, 300 meters water-resistant helium escape valve, full balance bridge with a free-sprung index for shock resistance, silicon hairspring for amagnetism, not anti-magnetism, amagnetic to over 1.5 Tesla, 35 joules coaxial chronometer. It is a coaxial using the multi-level tangential contact system developed by George Daniels and still used by his protege, Roger Smith, industrialized by Omega in 1999. Now dead accurate, tough, and exotic. Possibly the most exotic escapement you can buy for under $50,000. It's a COSC chronometer, yes, but it's also a Matas master chronometer, meaning as a fully cased up watch, the watch is tested in 6 positions, not 5, and evaluated as a full consumer product, not just a bare caliber. 8 different tests, including everything from winding efficiency to water resistance to chronometric precision to anti-magnetism. Stop seconds and quick set date. This one features all of the toys, and it beats away the quirky coaxial specific 25,200 vibration per hour beat rate. You can see this 2018 Omega Seamaster Diver 300 meter and make it yours on the watch box. Omega Seamaster Diver 300 meter, differential loom for the bezel pearl and the minute hand.